Hi team, in this video we will go through the entire ERP workflow diagrammatically. Like step by step we'll just understand what we're going to do in the ERP. So I have divided this into three segments. One is the external event that is happening, and second is the corresponding ERP action, and third being the responsible team who does this action in the ERP. So I have also color coded these things. Wherever it is red, it's basically the sales operations team's job. Wherever it is green, it is the production team's job. Wherever it is blue, it is the sourcing team's job, and wherever it is yellow, it is the warehousing team's job. So that's all. These are the four teams that will be operating the ERP, and these are the actions that we'll be going through. Let's just take a quick look at how the flow happens. Before we start that, we are going through the entire workflow. As in, imagine we are getting a new order, and then we go about sourcing the items for raw materials for the order. Then we go to production, and we complete the production and do FG testing, and then once it is tested, we send the item out through using an invoice. That's the entire workflow we're going through. So let's just take a look at external event and ERP action. So what happens when we receive an order, a PO from the customer? We correspondingly go and create a order confirmation in the ERP, and it has to be done by the sales operations team. So as soon as an order confirmation is created, the ERP automatically generates a work order, and the next step is to see if we have the materials for it. This is done by the production team. Basically, the production team checks if all the raw materials are available as per the bill of materials. So if all the raw materials are available, we straight away head out to production. In case we don't have the raw materials, the next step is to create. The sourcing team will be notified. Currently there's no mechanism to notify through the ERP, so we will have to send that message outside of the ERP. So we notify the sourcing team, and then the sourcing team will create a purchase order with the corresponding vendor for whatever items that is missing. And once the purchase order is issued, and when the vendor supplies the material, we wait for the item to come, and once the item arrives at our warehouse, we create an inward and a GRN against the PO that we issued earlier. After that, we can start the production. So the process of production, we create a production process. It gets started, and when you create a process, it will be in a planned state. Now once you verify all the information in the production process, like where the source raw material, which is the raw material warehouse, which is the finished good warehouse, all this information, once you recheck and verify, there is an option to publish the process. So once the process is published is when actually it becomes live. Once it's published, the process comes to pending stage. The next step is requesting for raw materials. So in that step, there is a issue option. So once you click on the issue raw material, the request is automatically sent to the warehousing team. So the warehousing team will get an inventory request, and on approval of this, the warehousing team will be able to approve this particular request. On approval, the material gets allocated, and the stock gets reduced from the inventory, and this stock is now allocated for the production process. And once it is done, the process itself goes to a pending WIP state. The process will move on to a WIP state. Now once in the WIP state, there are multiple operations that we have defined earlier. For example, we had mentioned fabric cutting, fabric stitching, upholstery. So as and when these steps are completed, the production manager can update these operations one by one. So once all that is complete, and once the finished good is ready, the next step is for the production team to mark the finished good as ready. As soon as the finished good is marked ready, then we have to go about testing the finished good. So once the QC manager reports finished good testing as pass, only then the stock will increase. Again, the increase in stock goes for an approval to the warehousing team. So the warehousing team gets again a request for approval of this inventory. So once the inventory manager or the warehousing manager approves the stock, then the finished good stock goes up, and after that you can click on completing the process. So once the process is complete, you have the FG added in your finished good warehouse, and the next step is for the dispatch team to create a delivery challan. So once the delivery challan is created, this delivery challan is a document of reference for the dispatch team. They can file this delivery challan and send a copy to the accounts team, who will be creating the invoice. And once the invoice is created, the dispatch team can call the logistics guys and send the item, um, following the normal process, wherein we'll make an entry in the output register and we'll issue a gate pass, and then once the logistics partner returns the proof of delivery, we collect them and file it. So this is the whole process that we are going through in the upcoming videos. We'll go through one by one every step, and we'll show how each step is done in the ERP.